Beginning of Chapter 3, Mina, NNG, sniff sniff sniff. I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donut holes, molasses. Oh god of donuts. I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. Mina headed towards the kitchen in hopes of finding some comfort in the glorious goodness that was a donut. GRRGRNNN mechanical sounds. Mina froze in the hallway, hearing the sounds of mechanical gears turning. Mina? What's that sound? It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse. I'm super scared, but despite her fear, Mina found herself walking towards the bathhouse. Mina? Is someone there? Gasp. Mina stopped in the entrance of the bathhouse, her eyes scanning the dimly lit room. However, there is nothing out of the ordinary. Or was it? Everyone met up in the dining hall. Just like always. And I expected it to start like any other day. That's what I expected. But, Denki, today's count kinda sucks, huh? Suayu and Shoto still refuse to show up. Mineta. And I haven't seen Mrs. Shido anywhere. Kirishima. She said her stomach was hurting? So she's taking it easy in her room for today? Jirao. That is rather unusual for her. Normally she is so full of energy. Shaoji. Which is exactly what makes me worry. Momo. So it's just the 13 of us. Then, Izuku, it would seem that way, yes. And I believe it may stay that way if Asu and Todoroki continue to isolate themselves. Denki. It's times like this where the committee chairman needs to get things going with a bang. Lita, Denki, or not. Lita was the elephant in the room. Everyone avoided looking directly at him, knowing how he must be feeling, but not knowing how to help. Mineta? So, I mean, what's gonna happen now? We haven't found any way out, and we have no idea if help's ever gonna come. NGH. Now I'm all depressed just thinking about it. Jirao. We simply have to make the best of things, do our best to get along, and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world, and accept this new life. That is the only hope we have now. Izuku. What? To live here forever? Jirao, here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, our every need is seen to. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for? Competition, discrimination, victimization, and violence. As society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, is our current situation not? Mineta? Demon angel pretty pudgy princess. The random outburst by Mineta confused the group, looking at him dumbfounded. Momo. I'm sorry, what? Mineta? Maggie? The drill shop owner? The bunny-eared Amazon, catgirl dog boy? Robo Justice, and the Galactic King? Anne. What I mean is, there's no 2D here. Jirao. The mastermind puts such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will. Denki. Okay. Well, anyway, since Lita like catatonic, as the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. So, we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Izuku. Searching? Denki? Yeah, every inch of the campus if we have to. We're in this thing together, so everyone, let's search until we find the exit. Izuku. That's right. It sounds like a good idea. I'm willing to help the best I can. Bakugo. Then once we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking around. So you have any problem with that, Jirao? Jirao. Not at all. It's worth looking for any hope we can. So I'm willing to participate. Genocide Jack. You called for me. And so I appear. Genocide. Mineta? Nobody called for you. Denki. What the? How come it's Genocide Jill? And not Asu? Shaoji. I'm not sure we want to be finding out. Genocide Jack. God. This place is just amazing. Finally a place I can just be my murderous self, which is why I've decided to stop holding back and spread my wings. No more hiding in a cave for me. Plus, I have another battle to fight. The whole killer with a split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype. I'll fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous cliches. Denki. But, you are a killer with a split personality. Mineta? If she weren't here, my chances of survival would go up at least 10%. Genocide Jill, come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people to hold them up. Kaya. Kirishima, well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. We can't do anything on an empty stomach. The others nodded in agreement with Kiri's statement, deciding to at least sit down and have a meal before their search. Izuku, we look around the school, and we found some new arena and stuff. After I got back to the dining hall, the first thing I noticed was Mina. Izuku, Mina? Mina? Sorry, you startled me. Denki. Huh, I thought she was sick or something. Mina? Why yeah, I ate a few donuts, and that really helped a lot. Izuku, you do love those donuts. Mina? You know it. Can't go wrong with a good powdered sugar top donut. Jirao, but wasn't it your stomach that was hurting? Mina? Well, my stomachache kinda made me hungry, so you know. You're not listening to anything. Ahaha, I guess my memory's kinda fuzzy lately. Minetta. They say that a goldfish will eat however much food you give it, even if it's about to burst. Miss Ishido's pretty much the same, it looks like. Mina chuckled nervously, feeling embarrassed that her love for sweets has been pointed out. Denki anyway, first things first, we should talk about what we found, right Lita? Lita, Denki? Right, Lita refused to speak, but it was clear he was still listening, but he appeared to not be in the right state of mind, just staring at the table with a spaced-out expression. Minetta. There was an art room on the 3rd floor, and it had all kinds of gear. Mayahi, now I'll be able to recreate all my favorite anime characters. Mina looked confused. Mina? Why would anyone want to do that though? Izuku. Oh yeah, speaking of anime, that reminds me, I found something while I was looking around. Pull out a digital camera. Krishima, HRM, a digital camera? Izuku. That's right, I was exploring the school when I came upon it. Just laying in the middle of the hallway. It's pretty nice, too. High definition, high pixels, big screen. It's a good piece of equipment. Jirao, there is something that has been bothering me. I would like to discuss that. Izuku, sure, go ahead. What's on your mind? Jirao, it's about Mina. Everyone turned to look at Mina, curious about what Jiru had to say about her. Jirao, you said your stomach hurt. Did you not? But I believe that was a lie. What really happened? Mina. Mina was caught off guard, unable to come up with a convincing lie. Jirao, it varies from person to person, but whenever someone lies, they tend to have a way of showing it. It is called a tell something that you can't hide. No matter how hard you try, whenever Mina lies, the tip of her nose gets just a little longer. Krishima. Mina, be honest. Were you lying about your stomachache? Mina sighed. She was busted and knew it. Mina? Dot? Yes, I was. Krishima. Why? Why would you lie about that? Minetta. Are you feeling guilty about something? Mina. No, that's not it at all. It's just, I mean, I have a reason for it. To be honest, I didn't have a stomachache, I did it 'cause, even if I came and told you the truth, I thought you wouldn't believe me. Izuku, the truth? Mina. I don't even know how to say this. It sounds so ridiculous, but it's the truth. Mina was clearly hesitant and anxious about whatever it was she was about to confess. Mina. I was in bed, but I couldn't get to sleep. I just kept thinking about everything that's happened up till now. I ended up just getting more upset. So to try and cheer myself up, I thought I'd go get some donuts. Well, so I left my room and headed for the warehouse. But then I started hearing a strange sound. It was coming from the direction of the bathhouse. So I headed that way. The locker was halfway open. So I took a look inside, and I saw a human shape, surrounded by a pale green light. There's no doubt who it was. It was Toru. Minetta? Kaya, Denki? And no way, a GHGHGH ghost? Jiro, it is simply not possible. You must be mistaken. Just as in most cases of paranormal activity, it was born from your weakened mental state. Krishima, all we have to do is go see for ourselves, right? Let's just go to the bathhouse and see what Mina saw. Mina? You really want to check it out? Mina? Well, okay, just be careful. All right? In the bathhouse. Mina. It was right here. I saw it right here in the dressing room. Everyone looked at each other cautiously, taking in the room, searching for anything out of the ordinary. Denki. Urge. I'm getting goosebumps. Minetta. Same here. I can't quite explain it, but this place makes my skin crawls. Krishima. Mina, where was it you saw Toru ghost? Mina. It was right over there. Mina pointed at a specific spot in the room. Izuku, a laptop? What's something like that doing here? The group looks confused, but the laptop just sitting on one of the benches didn't look haunted in any way. Momo. I remember seeing this. Denki, you do? Momo, me and Izuku saw it in the library. Izuku. That's right. We were just looking around the library, and found it just sitting on this table. Izuku. But how did the laptop get from the library to here? Minetta. More importantly, it's not like it could have just got up and walked here. So it had to be touched and moved. But by who? Momo. And I guess it's in sleep mode, but the power is definitely on. Izuku. Maybe we should open it? Denki. I dunno. I have a bad feeling about this. Tokoyami. We don't really have no other choice. There was hesitation, but eventually, Minetta mustered the courage to go over to the laptop and open it. Master, you're here. Denki. It's a ghost. Buddha and sweet baby Jesus. Save me, Momo. Calm down. It's not a ghost. Momo began to type, hands blurring across the keyboard. What are you? I'm an AI, a very advanced and sophisticated one, too. Izuku, that voice, the tone and everything. Krishima, it's Toru. Momo. Alter ego? I've heard about this kind of AI program, but I've never seen one for myself. Izuku, AI program? Momo. It's how Toru earned his title of ultimate programmer. The AI lives in a computer, and by repeating different tasks it gains knowledge and grows bit by bit. Apparently, Toru used a support vector machine and reinforcement learning to develop it. Eventually, he came up with a breakthrough in artificial intelligence design. Minetta. And you're saying, Toru built this AI? Momo. That's right. Momo anyway, let's talk to her a little more. Momo typed away rhythmically. How much do you know about what's going on? A great deal. My systems are all linked to the network. I'm aware of pretty much every event occurring at this school. Momo immediately shot out another question. Why are you here? I was sent to investigate. My creator requested my assistance with a specific problem. How much longer until everything's unlocked? It's gonna be a while, but I'm definitely gonna do it. So you can just leave it to me, Momo. So because of how long it would take, they designed Alter Ego to handle the workload. Jirao. Smart. It also means that the work remains uninterrupted, even after his death. Once again, Momo typed quickly, keep it up, but be careful not to let the mastermind notice you. Don't worry, I've got a secret plan already, just in case. Actually, I can see what's going on using my built-in webcam. So if anyone suspicious shows up, LL just scream for help real loud. Izuku, it's a pretty basic plan, I have to say. Minetta. I think it's more than enough. She'd be loud enough to wake up the dead. Jirao, that is fine during the day, but nighttime is a concern. Izuku, why? Jirao, at nighttime, when everyone is sleeping, Alter Ego is essentially a sitting duck for the mastermind. Jirao, all our rooms are completely soundproof. Once we close our doors, he can scream as loud as he wants but we won't hear a thing. Izuku, okay. Then how about once it's nighttime, we each take turns guarding the dressing room. Minetta. I think that's a great idea. Alter Ego : would you mind if I asked a few questions? Izuku. Oh, of course. Anything you want to ask, feel free. Alter Ego : I haven't seen Master for a while. When you got here, I thought it was they, but is Master? For a split second, Momo seemed to not know what to do, but she recovered just as fast and quickly began typing. Her answer was clear, concise, direct. He is dead. Satao killed him. Alter Ego : oh, Minetta. Somehow I feel kinda sorry for her. Denki. How can you feel sorry for her? She doesn't even have a physical body. Minetta. But she's still Toru, isn't she? Lita. How do I talk to him? Izuku. Well, you just tell me what you want to say, and I'll type it in for you. Lita. Do you hate Satao? And since I couldn't stop him, do you hate me? Izuku. Minetta. Whispers, it's hard to say. Izuku. He's a little confused. I mean, he's only seen Satao a few times. Toru. Do you hold yourself responsible? If Master could talk now, I think this is what he would say. Please, live your life for the both of us. It's impossible for me now, but you can still survive and escape. All of you. Izuku. I'll do my best to hold on to that. For him and for you, too. Alter Ego : the one asking those questions is Lita, right? Analyzing all available data, that's the only conclusion I can come to. Master told me how close Lita and Satao had become, so that must be why he feels responsible. AI Satao, you're not letting yourself get crushed under the weight of that responsibility, are you? Lita. AI Satao, a man's only worth as much as the load he can carry. You get it, right bro? Hell, what am I saying? Of course ya do. Lita. AI Satao, so you're just gonna stand there, huh? Just wait for things to get better? Just take your time and get all depressed. Take the time to indulge your regrets. You might even start walking again without realizing it. Sure. That kind of mediocre thinking might work for some people. Alter Ego. What if I said it with that kind of condescending tone? Lita. Ha. Izuku. Lita. It's starting to sink in. The way a bucket full of water sinks into a bone-dry sponge. Aura come around him. Minetta. Whoa. What's with the dark aura? Lita. Men went Super Saiyan Yua. Ajiro. Lita. Calm down. Lita. Who the fudge is Lita? Denki. why your eyes? Lita, hey. Don't worry about it, guess I caused kind of a scene, huh? Shoot? Man. Lita. I'm a new me. Hurrah, I'm totally stuffed with fighting spirit now. Yeah, dumbbutt, I am calm. And don't call me Lita, that's not my name anymore. I'm me. I am me. Leaves. Denki. That was kinda scary. Next day back into the bathhouse. Mineta? Izuku, save me. I've never asked you for anything. But I'm asking now. Izuku, sigh, what's the matter this time? Mineta? She's trying to kill me. Mineta pointed at Momo. Izuku. What? Why would she of all people want to kill you? Momo. He snuck into the dressing room in the middle of the night and accessed alter ego without permission, and when I caught him last night he was hugging the laptop and breathing strangely. Izuku. Sigh. Mineta. That was a really stupid decision you made. Mineta. I can explain. Mineta. Well, at the beginning, I just wanted to hear her say master one more time. But then I was poking around at her settings and stuff, and saw she was a well-designed program, and it was like, how can I say, it was the first time I was ever able to talk like that, with a normal girl, even when all we did was talk about my hobbies and stuff. She wasn't annoyed or disgusted or anything. Izuku, you mean to say, you were lonely, so you made friends with an artificial intelligence? Mineta. It sounds stupid when you say it like that, Mineta. That's why I was just so happy. It was so much fun, and before I knew it, I found myself, liking her. Her face, her personality, her voice, even her keyboard. Izuku, you fell in love with her? Jirao. I think you have misunderstood the situation, Mineta. Alter ego was not interested in who you were. It was interested in what you knew. It is an artificial intelligence. It exists to learn. Of course it wanted to hear of things it did not know. You are an expert in many things Toru could not have taught it about. For what that is worth. Alter ego wants that information. That is all. Jirao. I think you have misunderstood the situation, Mineta. Alter ego was not interested in who you were. It was interested in what you knew. It is an artificial intelligence. It exists to learn. Of course it wanted to hear of things it did not know. You are an expert in many things Toru could not have taught it about. For what that is worth. Alter ego wants that information. That is all. Mineta. You don't know that. It wasn't like that at all. She was totally into me. That look in her eyes when she called me mastery could tell. Tokoyami, if we are being honest, it does seem possible that you were taken advantage of by this AI period. However, you also took advantage of it and its connection to Toru's memories. Izuku, deep sigh. Listen, Mineta. Alter ego may be an incredible program with the ability to learn and grow, but she's still just a program. She doesn't feel emotions like we do. What happened wasn't real love, Mineta. But for me, it felt real. Silence settles over the group as they realize this might be more complicated than simple perversion. Izuku, quieter now. Yeah, I guess sometimes fake things can still hurt like they're real, huh? The others exchanged glances. None of them had expected Mineta of all people to hit them with emotional depth. Lita, hey, you jerks, I'm sitting here, listening to you guys jibber jabber on about whatever. Izuku, Lita, what is it? Lita, who the hell's Lita? Izuku, facepalm, oh boy, here we go again. Denki, who are you then? Lita, Takada, now stop being a bunch of nerds and listen up. This school's got us trapped like rats in a cage. But I ain't about to roll over and take it anymore. We're busting out of here, or going down swinging. That's what a real man does. Dramatic finger point. So grab your metaphorical nuts and let's get moving, ya dumbutts. Mina, what's happened to you? Taka. Lita. It's simple. All my life I've been trying to figure out how to become a true man. But no matter how much I worked, I wasn't ever good enough. But then it hit me. I never had the balls. My whole life I was a chicken shit. That's why no one gave me the time of day. Krishima. So because of what alter ego said to him. Mina. Are you sure? It's alter ego's fault. Maybe Satao ghost showed up and possessed him. Jiro. Unlikely. This appears to be a psychotic break. His mind attempting to reconcile conflicting identities after severe psychological trauma. Everyone stares at Jiro. Jiro. What? My parents are psychiatrists. Lita. What are y'all yapping about? Come on. God, you're really cheesing me off. Hey. Mineta. Huh? What is it? Lita. I dunno what you're thinking, but bro belongs to me. Mineta blinked, confused. Mineta? Wait. You mean Toru's AI? Lita? Damn straight. Master might be gone, But that don't mean I'm letting just anyone sniff around his legacy. You got that, Grapehead? Grabs Minetta by the collar. You touch that laptop again, I'll personalize your face so bad you'll be mistaken for abstract art. Yee! Throws Minetta aside dramatically. Now, WHOS ready to break some rules and find some answers? Wild, unhinged grin. Or do I gotta motivate ya first? Pounds fists together. Rug. The others back away slowly, unsure if this is terrifying or weirdly inspiring. Izuku, whispering. Should we stop him? Denki, whispering back. I think we'd die. Lita starts randomly shadowboxing in the corner. Tokoyami, deadpan, truly. Darkness has taken many forms today. Mina slowly edges toward the exit. Mina. I suddenly really want donuts. Bye. Dashes out. Silence. Jirao. Flatly. This school is hell. Lita suddenly turns and points at them. Lita. Hey, no whispering in the corner like cowards. You either scream your truth or eat my fist. Now move it, maggots. Izuku quietly starts praying. Fade to black as Lita's manic laughter echoes through the halls. It was the next night Izuku was chilling until he hear a knocking on his door. Izuku gets up and walks to his door, still half dressed. Izuku, yeah, who is it? Kaminari. What could Izuku grab his head to show him a secret note to meet in the bathhouse? Izuku, eyes widen as he reads the note, then nods subtly, whispers, got it, be there in 5. Waits until the hallway is clear before slipping out. Upon arriving at the bathhouse, he finds Denki pacing nervously. Izuku, Denki? What's going on? Denki jerks around, visibly tense. Dude, we've got a problem. Izuku, low voice, did someone else? Momo. No, it gone. Izuku whirls around. Momo? What are you? His voice cuts off as he sees her expression. Momo stands frozen, face pale. Momo. Alter ego. Momo. I came here a little earlier to check up on things, and that's when I discovered, alter ego, the laptop has disappeared. Izuku, what do you mean disappeared? Mina, you're kidding, right? Momo, I wish I was. I've searched the entire building. I can't find it anywhere. Minetta? What? She's gone? Momo? Yes, I'm afraid so. Lita, you can't be fudgin' serious. What did you do with him? Momo's eye twitches at the sheer absurdity of the accusation. Momo, I didn't do anything, it was stolen. Lita grabs his own hair dramatically. Lita? Knew. My bro's legacy. Falls to his knees. WHO's the sniveling coward. WHO took him. I'll rip him apart like a phone book. Izuku and Denki exchange glances. Denki, whispering. Should we tell him we technically took it first? Izuku, sweating. Let's not. Momo rubs her temples. Momo, regardless, this is a serious issue. Alter ego was our best chance at unlocking the school systems. Without it, silence falls over the group. Mina, suddenly wait, if someone stole it. Her eyes widen. That means the thief is still in here with us. Ominous music sting. Cut to Minetta dramatically clutching his chest. Minetta, my heart can't take this suspense. Faints backward into a conveniently placed laundry basket. Izuku, ignoring him. We need to find out who did this. Fast. Lita suddenly leaps up, eyes blazing. Lita, then what are we standing around for? Let's hunt them down like the cockroaches they are. Yee! Kicks open the bathhouse door. Everyone stares as he storms out. Denki weakly, I miss when our biggest problem was ghosts. Fade to black. Momo, I think alter ego is most likely still safe, for the moment at least. Jirao, why do you think that? Momo, consider how the situation looks from the culprit's perspective. Denki, okay. Explain. Jirao, the culprit's first priority was to get away. We can't expect them to be thinking like we do. They likely just saw a chance and took it. That's what we need to understand. The others nod, listening intently. Momo, right now they're most likely trying to hide the laptop, like they are with us, to avoid detection. Ding dong, bing bong. Mama Kuma, ahem. This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry, at that point, is strictly prohibited. Okay then, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Momo? Scoffs. Monokuma again. Denki. He makes those announcements every night, like clockwork. Jirao, it is unfortunate, but we will have to leave the search for tomorrow. For now, everyone get some sleep. Izuku, agreed. We'll all be in no fit state to do anything if we stay out any later. Next morning, half of the student are in the dinner room. Kirishima, Izuku, welcome, is this it? What happened to the others? Izuku rubs his tired eyes. Some of them are still sleeping, I think. Yesterday was a lot. Kirishima sighs, stretching his arms. Kirishima, man, this whole thing just keeps getting messier. First alter ego goes missing. Now light is off the rails. An hour later, Mina. So, it's 8 o'clock. We've been waiting here a full hour. Mina, Kaminari, and Jiro have never missed a day. Till now. Izuku frowns. That is weird. Kirishima crosses his arms. Kirishima, you don't think something happened to them, do you? Momo, we can cover more ground if we split up. Kirishima, Tokoyami, Jiro, and Shaoji, you go check the dorms. Make sure to check all of our rooms. Izuku, Aoyama, Kauta, you check the first floor of the school. Meanwhile, I'll check the second floor. Mina, you got third floor. They found nothing on the first floor, so they went to the third floor. Izuku groans. No sign of them anywhere. Mina suddenly stops dead in her tracks. Mina? Guys. She's staring at something down the hallway. Izuku and Aoyama follow her gaze. In the rec room, Jirao look hurt. Jirao, NGH. Mina? Jirao, what happened? Jirao, I was stupid. I got attacked. Izuku, wait. Attacked? By who? Izuku, strange man? Mina? You don't mean? A cold realization settles over them. Izuku, the thief. Jirao grips her bruised side, wincing. Jirao, whoever they are, they're dangerous. Aoyama's hands tremble.
Aoyama, mon Dieu.
Izuku clenches his fists. Izuku, we need to find Kaminari. Now. Aoyama, wait, what is this? It was a justice hammer. Izuku, that's a justice hammer, all right. He examines it closely, his expression darkening. Mina whispers, why would the culprit have something like this? Jirao, that is the hammer he attacked me with. I barely managed to avoid the blow, but I stumbled and fell. I now curse my lack of daily exercise. Mina places a hand on Jirao's shoulder, a gesture of reassurance. Mina, the important thing is you're alive and well. You survived, and I'm sure Kaminari is fine too. We'll find him. I just know it. We have to. Tokoyami eyes the hammer, expression grim. So this is the weapon that attacked Jirao? Kirishima, damn, that thing is huge. Tokoyami, can you remember what happened? Jirao, well, it all happened earlier this morning. I woke up a little before 7 a.m. Nighttime was not yet over, but I knew it was about to end. So I decided it would be okay if I decided to take a little stroll around the first floor. I understand now that that was a mistake. Anyway, that is where I first saw the strange man. I was immediately wary of him. He was obviously suspicious, so I decided to follow after him in secret. As I followed, I saw him go into the rec room. I tried to peek through the gap in the door, which is when he noticed me, and Kirishima, and that's when you were attacked. Jirao, yes, exactly. I barely dodged in time, but I was thrown off by how heavy the blow was. I tripped and fell. That was my chance to escape, so I managed to make a run for it. That's when you all found me. Izuku, at what time? Jirao, it happened after 7 a.m., just after nighttime had ended. A hush falls over the room, everyone lost in troubled thoughts. Izuku, so if it happened just after 7 o'clock, Kirishima, then that was just about an hour ago, right when we were all meeting in the dining hall. Jirao, the attack caused me to lose consciousness, which would mean I was unconscious for about an hour. Tokoyami, so the culprit attacked during a time when everyone else was somewhere distracted. Kirishima clenches his fist. Damn bastard. Jirao, I remember something. Jirao, when I looked in the rec room, I saw that the suspicious man was not alone. He had with him Mineta. Aoyama gasps dramatically. You're saying Mineta was with the culprit? Jirao, after he attacked me, he dragged Mineta away. Kirishima, Mineta? But that doesn't make sense. Why would he be involved? Tokoyami crosses his arms, deep in thought. Tokoyami, unless. Izuku's eyes widen in realization. Izuku, he wasn't. Everyone turns to him. Izuku, think about it. Jiro said the man dragged Mineta away. He didn't go willingly. Kirishima's face pales. Kirishima, then that means Mineta was kidnapped. Mina grips her own arms, shaking. Mina, and if they took Mineta, what about Kaminari? A heavy silence falls. Tokoyami, we need to find them. Now. Izuku nods, fists clenched. Izuku, then let's move. Fast. They sprint out of the rec room. Urgency in every step. The Kyugo, hey Deku, what's going on? What's all the fuss? Genocide Jack? Yeah, you guys playing a game or something? Izuku whirls around, eyes burning with urgency. This isn't a game. Bakugo and Genocide Jack blink, caught off guard by his intensity. Izuku, Mineta, and Kaminari are missing. Someone attacked Jirao, and now we think the culprit kidnapped them. Bakugo's smirk vanishes. Bakugo, TCH, you're telling me some extra is out here snatching people? Genocide Jack grins wildly. You, a real-life villain? How fun. Kirishima grabs her by the shoulders. Kirishima? No, This isn't fun, this is serious. Genocide Jack pouts. Genocide Jack. Boo, you're no fun. Tokoyami, regardless, we don't have time to waste. Every second we stand here puts them in more danger. Bakugo cracks his knuckles. Bakugo. Then quit yappin', and move your asses. The group nods, splitting up to scour the school, when suddenly, screech! A deafening alarm blares through the halls. Mina. From down the hallway everyone, to the library, now! Their blood runs cold. Izuku, something's happened. They sprint toward the library, dread clawing at their heels. In the library they found Mineta with a bloody head. Mineta? Oh ow! Ow! Mina? Mineta, what the hell happened? Bakugo, how did you get hurt? Mineta. That guy hit me. Kirishima, eyes widening. Wait, you mean the same guy who attacked Jirao? Mineta. Nods weakly, clutching his head. Yeah. He knocked me out cold. When I woke up, I was here. Tokoyami, grim. Then this confirms it. He's moving victims. Mineta. He attacked me with that hammer. He bonked me right on the head with it. Justice Hammer number 2. The group freezes. Izuku. Justice Hammer number 2? Momo's eyes widen in realization. Momo. Then that means, there are multiple weapons. Bakugo grits his teeth. Bakugo. So some bastards running around bonking people like this is some kind of fucked up game? Genocide Jack giggles, twirling a strand of hair. Genocide Jack, ooh, a bonk off. Can I play too? Kirishima grabs her by the collar. Kirishima? No. Meanwhile, Izuku crouches beside Mineta. Izuku, Mineta, did you see anything else? Anything about the culprit? Mineta's face twists in thought. Mineta, he was tall, and, weirdly strong. Like, unnaturally strong. A chill runs through the group. Tokoyami, this is worse than we thought. Jirao, idea some people bring him to the nurse, and me Izuku Mina Kirishima, and Tokoyami look for the guy on the second floor. Izuku nods sharply. Got it. Aoyama and Bakugo step forward. Aoyama, we shall escort our fragile comrade to safety. Fear not, Bakugo. TCH, just don't die before we get back. As they help Mineta away, the remaining group steels themselves. Tokoyami, then let us move. Swiftly, they sprint toward the second floor. Jirao, I think I saw a shadow. Kirishima, eh? Shadow? What do you mean? Tokoyami stares down the long hallway. Where? Jirao, running up the stairs to the third floor. Bakugo, me, and Bird Brain got it. Kirishima, be careful. We don't know what that guy's capable of. Anjaya, Izuku, that voice. The group whips around. Jirao, first floor. Now, Izuku. Mineta, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. They sprint back to the first floor, dread clawing at their heels. They burst into the nurse's room. They saw his dead body. Mina. Aahh. Kirishima. No, no. Izuku stumbles back, face pale. Izuku, this can't be happening. Aoyama. Voice hollow. He was murdered. Monokuma. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. A heavy silence falls over the room as the group processes the gruesome sight in front of them. Jirao covers her mouth. God. He was just up and talking 5 minutes ago. Mina. Voice trembling. Then he really is gone. Kirishima. Look like he died to another one of the Justice Hammer. Jirao. But this one is number 3. Tokoyami. Face going pale, meaning there are still more.
Awayama, Clutch Kirishima merde. Awayama, shaking violently oui.
Izuku takes a shuddering breath, clenching his fists. Izuku nods. All right, let's go. They sprint up the stairs, dread still clawing at their heels as they run. In a room, Izuku looking for Bakugo and Shoto. Izuku gasps. Bakugo, Shoto. He dashes over to them, breathing a sigh of relief. Izuku, thank goodness you're okay. Shoto, we got something you might want to see. Izuku, face darkening. What is it? Shoto, just follow. Izuku nods silently. Lead the way. In the physical labs they found the dead body of Lita. Everyone freezes, the color draining from their faces. Izuku, no, 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 no. Mina clenches her arms. Not again. Tokoyami, shaking, face pale. That's 2 in 1 day. Jirao clutches her chest. How could this happen? Izuku stares at the body, eyes wide. Suayu is knocked out on the ground. Izuku, Suayu. He rushes over, kneeling beside her. Izuku, Sue, come on, can you hear me? Bakugo, relax. She just passed out when she saw the blood. Tokoyami, grim. Even Suayu, resilient as she is, couldn't withstand the sight. Mina whispers, none of us should have had to. Kirishima clenches his fists. Kirishima, Then that means whoever did this wasn't afraid of witnesses. Izuku swallows hard. Izuku, because they knew she'd be too shocked to stop them. Mina grips her own arms. Mina, and now Lita. Silence falls like a guillotine. Tokoyami. Justice Hammer number 4. The implication settles over them. Izuku inhales sharply. Then that means the culprit isn't done. Jirao. Guys, bad news. The others turn warily to Jirao. Izuku. What is it? Jirao. Mineta is missing. The others freeze. Kirishima. Face going pale. Wait. What? Mina? Eyes widening. Mineta's missing. Jirao. Yeah, come see. The others exchange a glance before following Jirao. Jirao. I noticed something was off with this room. Something felt missing. Kirishima frowns. What do you mean? Jirao gestures to the room. Look around. The Justice Hammer number 3. The one that killed Mineta. It's gone. Izuku's eyes dart around the room. Izuku. You're right. Someone took it. Tokoyami. Gripping his cloak. Then that means Mina. The killer's still out there. Shadow. Or maybe it's 2 killers. Kirishima. Eyes widening. 2 killers? Izuku clenches his fists. Izuku whispers that would explain how 2 murders happened so close together. Tokoyami. And with how much they seem to know our habits. Jirao's fingers twitch. Jirao. It's like they were counting on us reacting the way we did. Bakugao scoffs. Bakugao, so you're saying there's 2 of these psycho bastards running around? Shoto nods slowly. Shoto, quietly, either that, or one very smart one. The tension in the room thickens. Izuku, then we need to find them. Fast. Jirao. Let go back upstairs. Kirishima. Nods right. Let's move. When they went back into physical labs. Now Lita is missing. Everyone freezes. Mina. Whispers, what? Tokoyami. Eyes narrowing. Impossible. Kirishima. Runs a hand through his hair. This is getting too messed up. Izuku clenches his fists. Izuku, someone moved him. Jirao looks visibly unsettled. Jirao. Muttering, why would they do that? Shoto exhales sharply. Shoto. Coldly, to mess with us. Bakugao snarls. Bakugao. Then let's stop standing around and find the bastard. They all nod. They look around the 3rd floor until they got to the repository. And when I did, they saw both bodies. They freeze. The blood draining from their faces. Izuku numbly, no. Kirishima. Breath hitching. Oh, crap. Tokoyami steps back, horrified. This doesn't make any sense. Jirao grips her arms. Jirao, voice cracking. This is a nightmare. Mina. Voice shaking. Is this some kind of sick joke? Monokuma. Ding dong. Ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. The sound pierces the still air like a dagger. Kirishima winces. That again. Monokuma. And so here we are. Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time. But I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right. The others exchange a weary look. Tokoyami, voice heavy. Another file? Bakugo. Just hand it over already. Monokuma. Holds up the file. Say please. Bakugao. Scowling please. Monokuma dramatically drops the file. Monokuma. TADAA. Izuku snatches it up and flips it open. Izuku, it lists Lita and Mineta. Kirishima, groans. So we gotta solve 2 murders at once? Tokoyami, deadpan, how efficient. Mina grips her head. Mina. And we still don't even know where Momo or Kaminari is. Jirao sighs. Jirao. This school is hell. Bakugao cracks his knuckles. Bakugao good. More evidence means more ways to catch the bastard. Fade to black as the group steels themselves for the trial. Mineta. Mineta slowly starts coming to, groaning and rubbing his head. Mineta. Ow, my head, ow. Izuku. He's alive again? The group turns in shock. Mina. Mineta. Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming? Mineta. Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak. Mina. Hey, Mineta. Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Mineta rubs his head still, wincing. Mineta. Dank. Key. Silence crashes over the room. Kirishima. Barely audible. What? Mina? Shaking. No. Tokoyami lowers his head. Tokoyami. Darkness claims another. Izuku stumbles back. Hands trembling. Izuku. He was right here. Jirao's fingers curl into fists. Jirao. Quietly furious, they're toying with us. Bakugao snarls. Explosions popping in his palms. Bakugao. Then let's end this. Monokuma's laughter echoes through the halls. Fade to black as despair thickens the air. Shoto, he said. Denki. Right? Jirao, Denki Kaminari. that is the only person he could have been referring to. Bakugo, and with that, the case is solved. Tokoyami, eyes narrowing. Then that means, Kaminari was behind this. Kirishima, clenches fists. But why? Mina, let go, find that bastard. The group steels themselves, fury and determination burning in their eyes. Izuku nods sharply. Let's end this. They storm out of the repository, ready to confront Kaminari, and the nightmare he's orchestrated, once and for all. Beginning of the investigation. Few minutes later, Izuku found Momo and Kaminari, and the other together in the pool house. Izuku, Momo, and who in the robot justice outfit? Kaminari? Phew, man, I have had the worst day. Momo, I found Denki. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up. Izuku, anyway. Momo, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden, without a trace. Momo, there was something I had to check up on. Kirishima frowns, suspicious. That's it? Momo nods yes. Kaminari, can you guys help me get out of the suit? Bakugo, I still have some questions for you first. Bakugo stomps forward, looming over Kaminari with sparks popping in his palms. Bakugo, listen here, dunce face. You got one chance to explain yourself. Kaminari, nervous laugh. Whoa, dude, I swear, I was just. Izuku, stepping in. Bakugo, wait, let's hear him out first. Kirishima, arms crossed. Man, if he was locked in a locker this whole time, how could he be the killer? Kaminari nods rapidly. Kaminari, dramatic sigh. Thank you, someone with brains. Momo clears her throat. Momo, firm. The justice hammer used on Tsuyu was stolen from the pool storage. Whoever did this clearly had access. Kaminari's face pales. Kaminari, wait, that's why you're suspicious of me? Tokoyami shadow flickers. Tokoyami, you were missing. You have no alibi. And Minetta's last words pointed to you. Kaminari flinches. Kaminari, voice cracking. I wasn't. Mina suddenly gasps. Mina? Guys. His gloves. Everyone's eyes snap to Kaminari's hands, stained with dried blood. Silence. Kaminari whispers, oh. Bakugo's grin is feral. Bakugo? Gotcha. Cut to black. Trial begins. At the trail. Monokuma, let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with, Mina, we already know who did it. Aoyama nods. Aoyama, Kaminari's the culprit. There's no other explanation. Tokoyami nods. The evidence is undeniable. Kaminari pales. No, let me explain. Genocide. Jack, shut your murdering mouth. Murderer. Kaminari trembles. Kaminari, please, let me speak. Jirao, I am sorry to say, Denki, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime. Kaminari shakes his head frantically. Kaminari, voice cracking. How many times do I have to tell you? 1. I don't know. Jirao, everything we found in your room. The blueprint. Izuku, no, that wrong. Kaminari's eyes light up. Kaminari, huh, you believe me? Izuku, yeah, and I have my evidence. Bakugo, eyes narrow. Evidence? Izuku, well, take a look at this. It's a note that Kaminari wrote. It's the note that Hiro wrote asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say, when you compare it to the blueprints? Tokoyami leans in. So you're saying, Kirishima, the blueprints and the note, they don't match. Kaminari, come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway. Shoto, and he's not the only one. I think Kaminari is innocent as well. Kaminari, eyes widen. You think I'm innocent? Mina, then who was in that robo-justice suit? Is it like Denki said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit? Izuku, other than Denki? I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit. Bakugo, then there can be no doubt, Denki is the prime suspect. Bakugo, it makes perfect sense. Denki was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit. Kirishima, so what you're saying is, Bakugo? That's right, the culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the robo-justice suit. Jirao, and what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes? Momo nods. You're basing your conclusion on fact, not opinion? Bakugo, we must clarify the method of transportation for Lita's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Momo nods, deep in thought. Go on, Izuku. They were a dolly and a tarp, right? Tokoyami. Yes, it seems that was the case. Jirao, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken? Izuku, huh? Jirao, are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Lita's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along? And you simply didn't realize it? Tokoyami. Indeed, that does sound plausible. Shoto, she's raised an objection. How do you respond? Bakugo grits his teeth. TCH. Damn it. Jirao, are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Tokoyami frowns. Now that I think about it. Was it there? Kirishima rubs head. I think it was. Izuku eyes widen. Wait, no, it wasn't. Silence falls. Jirao nods. Exactly. Which means, they moved Lita without the dolly. Shoto sharp inhale. Then how? Bakugo's grin is vicious. Bakugo, simple. Everyone turns to him. Bakugo, they didn't carry him. Izuku's breath catches. Izuku, they rolled him. Kirishima's eyes widen. Kirishima the tarp. Momo gasps. Momo. So they wrapped him up and dragged him. Jirao's fingers twitch. Jirao, which means anyone could have done it. Kaminari sinks to his knees. Kaminari whispers, then, I'm free. Bakugo, as we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room, and from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct? Mina? Yeah. The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right? Shoto, now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle. Mina? Well, yeah. But even without a handle, all you'd have to do is be Izuku. No, that wrong. Tokoyami leans in. Tokoyami, what was that? Izuku, you're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low, but if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that? Jirao nods slowly. Yeah, that's right. Kirishima frowns. Kirishima, so, how could the culprit have moved him? Shoto, they couldn't have. A heavy silence falls. Bakugo snarls. Then that means. Izuku's voice is steady. Izuku, the suit wasn't involved. Kaminari's head snaps up. Kaminari gasps. Then, I really am innocent? Momo presses a hand to her chin. Momo, which means, the killer isn't Kaminari. Tokoyami shadow flickers. Tokoyami, then who? Fade to black. Truth bullets updated. Momo, let's review the series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new. Genocide Jack. Ha, what a pain in the ass. Kirishima. 9 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Izuku, Mina, Ajiro, Shaoji, Kauta, Momo, Aoyama, Tokoyami, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m. Tokoyami, we searched the second floor, and found all our other classmates. Mina, and as soon as we split up, Momo went missing. Kirishima, soon after that, Mina found Jirao in the rec room, and quickly came to get Izuku, Tokoyami, Aoyama, and me. Aoyama nods. That is correct. Jiru, it seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after 7. Kirishima, that was when we saw Jiru picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Mineta. Kirishima, we were soon joined in our search by Bakugo, Shoto, and Tsuayu, and then went on to find Mineta in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office, and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office, Jirao, we found Lita's body in the repository. Everyone's reactions were extreme, to say the least. Izuku, at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Jirao, Mina, and I went back to the nurse's office while Kirishima, Bakugo, and Tsuayu chased after the suspect. Izuku, when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead, and that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Momo, I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events. Tokoyami nods. Each incident, while somewhat related, seems distinct and self-contained. Tokoyami nods. Each incident, while somewhat related, seems distinct and self-contained. Momo, rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Lita. Momo, so, regarding Lita's death, I wonder if he died before Mineta, Or perhaps it was after. Mina, we already know what ordered. Izuku. No, that wrong. Izuku, hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions. Aoyama, so you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality Lita was killed before? Mineta? Okay then. Let's see the proof. Mina ponders, so how are we supposed to prove the order then? Izuku. I've got it. Lita wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock. Tokoyami. Eyes narrow. I see your point. Bakugo, scoffs, took you long enough to figure that out. Momo. That's right. Lita was killed before any of the other incidents took place. Tokoyami. Slow nod, meaning Mineta was murdered after. Kirishima, which flips the entire assumption the killer wanted us to make. Jirao's fingers twitch. Jirao, then, why would the culprit mess with the order? Izuku's expression hardens. Izuku, to confuse us. Shoto's eyes flicker. Shoto, and distract us from the real killer. Bakugo cracks his knuckles. Bakugo. Got it. Fade to black. Truth bullets updated. Kirishima, anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Mineta scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him. Jirao. And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered the body had disappeared, when his body vanished from the nurse's office. Mina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Lita's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office, because of Mineta going missing. Genocide Jack. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time. Tokoyami nods. That is also a crucial detail. Kaminari, wait. Then what if Genocide Jack did it? She could have dragged Lita's body out of there right then. Shoto. Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Mineta's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared. Mina nods, which rules her out as a suspect. Jirao, in other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Mineta, or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Kaminari and Momo had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things. Kaminari blushes in embarrassment. Hey, hold on, why are you accusing us? We didn't do anything. Momo, for now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Mineta's body got moved. Tokoyami nods. Then you're suggesting we should try and figure out the method of transportation. Momo, if the dead body were to move itself. Tokoyami, you think Lita's corpse got up and walked away? Kirishima visibly recoils. Kirishima, dude. Mina shuddering, that's way too creepy. Izuku shakes his head. Izuku, no, I think Momo means something else. Bakugo scowls. Bakugo, then spit it out already. Momo exhales. Momo, what if they weren't dead yet? Everyone freezes. Kaminari's jaw drops. Kaminari, fade to black. Truth bullets updated. Kirishima, are you saying that when we first found Mineta in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive? Jirao, no, it is impossible. Mineta was dead, without a doubt. Momo, and you know that how? Jirao, surely you heard the body discovery announcement, along with the rest of us. Mineta's dead body had been Fu. Izuku, no, that wrong. Jirao pauses. What? Izuku, was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Mineta? Jirao, of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body. Izuku, maybe, but that was also the same time that Lita's body was found. Bakugo, that's right, it wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement. Bakugo, first of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements. Jirao, maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one. Tokoyami, what do you say? Monokuma, any comment? Monokuma, well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail, but what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time. Kaminari, that didn't answer our question, man. We are asking if you're a lazy bum. Shoto, no, actually, that was plenty. Monokuma chuckles, I guess you were paying attention after all. Bakugo, he said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. Shoto, which means, Jirao's eyes widen. Jirao, there's no way he could have. Izuku clenches his fist. Izuku, grimly, he never died. Momo, and if Mineta was still alive at that point, The disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Lita's corpse, Momo. But it is also the most logical. Mineta's body had been found, but the next we saw of it, it was gone, and in the short time between us discovering him and losing his body, Lita was murdered. Bakugo nods, which means Mineta must have escaped from the nurse's office, went to the repository, murdered Lita, and moved his body. Kaminari, hold it, time out. How could Mineta move Lita? Because the height difference. Xiaoji, yes. I was thinking the same thing myself. Mineta simply does not have the body mass to move Lita. Izuku, it's simply the dolly. Kauda. Slowly, the dolly? Izuku. Yes, there were plenty of other tools that could have been used to transport him. The dolly was just one of them, and that means Mineta could have used it. Ajiro, eyes widen. And he would have had no problem reaching it either. He had access to the entire repository. Kaminari gasps, wait, glowing, that's it. Mina, why was Lita in the equipment room? Momo, we think Mineta somehow convinced Lita to meet him there. Izuku, this is a note written by Mineta. Kirishima, so Mineta lured Lita to his death. Jirao, then he knew what he was doing. Mineta plotted to commit a murder. Mina, so then, who killed Mineta? Bakugo, whoever did is the mastermind? The true killer? Shoto, during that time, we'd all split up, and were searching for Lita's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis. Xiaoji, so that basically means that anyone could have done it. Ajiro, anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more. Bakugo, spit it out. Ajiro, the weapon they used to kill Mineta. Tokoyami, yes, you are correct. There should be plenty of possible murder weapons in the equipment room. Ajiro, I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Lita and Mineta were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Mineta was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Mineta, then put the hammer back where they found it. Mina rubs chin. I see where you're going with this. But where were the hammers found again? Izuku, a hammer from the repository. Izuku, now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. Bakugo, brows furrow. The hell? Why wouldn't he bother cleaning it off? Shoto, he didn't do that, the real killer did? Izuku, sharp inhale. You're right. The killer must have realized that a bloody hammer would be too much of a smoking gun. So the killer washed the grime off the hammer to get rid of any evidence. Bakugo, so Mina moved Lita's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him. Mina, and whoever did that is the true killer, the one Mina was working with, and the one who betrayed him. Kirishima slams hands on podium. Then who was it? There's still no clear suspect. Izuku, yes, it is a clear suspect. Kirishima stares at Izuku. There is? Then who is it? Izuku, it was Jirao. Jirao, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? HMHMHM. I really do hate this kind of joke. So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Mineta. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot. Ahem. Pardonnez-moi, Tokoyami, so we can agree that Jirao wouldn't willingly work with Mineta? Yes, Bakugo, just to be clear, there is evidence to support it. Aoyama, and what, dare I ask, would that be? Izuku, the behavior they had in common had to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Jiru and Mineta. Jirao, yes, you're right, but what's your point? Bakugo, shush, the adults are talking now. Bakugo, as he said, only Mineta and Jirao ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Lita was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said, as well. Mina, are you saying everything they told us was a lie? Bakugo, after taking Jiru to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Jiru said? Kirishima, yeah, the first time we all split up, she said, I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs, right? Bakugo, we headed to the second floor specifically, because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor. Shoto, she let out a blood-curdling scream. Kirishima, eyes wide. You don't really think? Bakugo, that was to signal Mineta, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea? Jirao, you all have such vivid imaginations? You know that? You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Mineta away? Tokoyami, eyes narrow. I have been wondering about that myself. Jirao scowls at Izuku. Izuku, also one more thing, Mineta always called people by their last name. Jirao, he did? Izuku, Jirao, what is your last name? Jirao, Kyoka. It's Jiru Kyoka. Izuku, your real last name. Jirao, I told you, it's Care. Bakugo, it only one thing we have to do. Check her e-handbook. Jirao? And my handbook? Why? Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because, until the game's over, you never know what might happen. Bakugo? Bear's teeth? Furious enough stalling? Damn it. Let's see your handbook. Izuku, hold it, let me go over the case one more time. Bakugo, seething, go ahead. And you better hurry the hell up. Izuku, before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder, and that person was Mineta. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Kaminari. The murderous duo intended to pass Kaminari off as the prime suspect, so when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Mineta positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Kaminari. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Lita to the equipment room, and that's where Mineta killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and injured Mineta to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that, but while we did that, we left Mineta alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Mineta was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Mineta's body at the same time, so when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Mineta. We left the nurse's office, and Mineta once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Mineta had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Lita's body in a tarp, and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Mineta didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Mineta, and get rid of the one person who could betray them, and they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is Jirao. Sorry you lose, Jirao. I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck. Bakugo, fuming the hell with your damn words, ear pods, and hand over your e-handbook now. Jirao. Taiko Denki. Jirao, that my real name. Jiru, okay? Monokuma, I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it? Monokuma. Alright then, cracks knuckles then with no further ado. IT's voting time. Monokuma, it's basically a formality at this point. But once again you're totally correct. The black and this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinkin' scheme was Kyoka Jirao. Or more precisely, Taiko Denki. Bakugo, you damn extra, why the hell did you try to kill us? What was your motive? Why? Aoyama shaken eye. I think it's time you gave us an explanation. Kaminari. Jirao, are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape. Kirishima, eyes narrow. We all want to get out of here. That's not a reason. Jirao, to be honest, I don't care if any one of you guys died. I was hoping to kill another person, but you can't win them all. But you guys give me so much memories, so I will take that to the grave. Bakugo, furious bullshit. You can't make up, Monokuma? You all done? Okay. Then let's get rollin'. The blackened disturbed the peace, and must pay the price. Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment for her. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time. Jirao, I guess I'll let Momo hold on to this. It was a key to a locker in the bathhouse. Jirao, Kaminari, sorry for trying to fame. You kiss him on the cheek. You better win this. Jirao, anyway, time to atone for my sins. No more holding back. It's what I deserve for what I've done. Let's do this. Jirao, perhaps we'll meet again in another life. Execution title. Final encore. Phase 1, the concert hall. Jiro is placed on a lavish Gothic concert stage, dressed in an elegant black and purple outfit that clashes with her usual casual style, mirroring Celestia's forced nobility. A massive audience of Monokuma mannequins applauds as chandeliers swing overhead. Phase 2, the performance. Jiro is chained to a grand amp and speaker rig shaped like a throne. Monokuma announces she must perform her final concert. Her earphone jacks are forcibly plugged into towering speakers behind her. At first, music plays, rock, her comfort zone. She steadies herself. Then the volume starts rising. Phase 3, sound torture. The music distorts into ear-splitting feedback, bass so strong it cracks the stage floor. Shockwaves visibly ripple through the air. Jiro screams, trying to unplug herself, but the cables tighten like restraints. Blood trickles from her ears as the crowd continues to cheer. Phase 4, the deceptive escape. Celestia parallel. Suddenly, the sound cuts. A spotlight shines on an exit door at the back of the hall. Hope. Jiro breaks free and runs for it. Just as she reaches the door. Phase 5. The final note. A massive speaker-shaped guillotine slams down from above, triggered by one final, deafening feedback screech. The screen freezes on the soundwave spike. Silence. Final shot. The concert hall burns down in sparks of blown-out speakers and shattered amps. A cracked vinyl record labeled Jiro. Final encore spins slowly as Monokuma bows to the audience. Mina. Oh my god. Kaminari. I got a kiss. Kirishima, you kissed the person who just tried to kill us. Kaminari shrugs. She was kinda cute though. Shadow. She literally tried to fame you. Kaminari, true. True. But you gotta admire her spunk. You don't see it often. But it's great when a girl takes initiative, you know? Tokoyami. Sighs he. Cannot be helped. Mina. Agree. After the trial in the bathhouse at Momo and Izuku. Momo, this key, it's the one she gave to me before her execution. Izuku, a bathhouse locker key? Momo took the key Jirao had given her and unlocked the locker, and as the locker swung open, we saw Alter Ego. Alter Ego : Good morning, Ehi. It's been a while, hasn't it? Momo, it's safe, thank goodness. Alter Ego : I did just what Jirao asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, Anne, I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. Izuku, eyes widen. You mean it? That'd be amazing. Momo, so, now we can officially say the case is closed. Izuku, can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Momo, sure. What do you want to ask? Momo, I don't understand. What am I trying to do? All on my own. Do you mean, with the traitor? Izuku. No, like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that, Momo. Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing. And where I've been going. You see, Momo, the boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it, and in the storage closet there, way in the back. Izuku, surprised. Wait, you mean, you'll let me inside? Momo, crossing arms. You already followed me there. You must have an idea of what's going on. Besides, it might be good to get a second set of eyes on this. Izuku, alright, I'll check it out. Izuku, looks around. Okay. So this is the second floor men's bathroom, the one without a security camera. Then, he slowly opens the door to the storage room. As he steps inside, he sees some basic cleaning supplies, mop, bucket, brushes. Izuku, without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, at the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. It was a secret room with a desk and bookshelf. His eyes widen in amazement as he sees the hidden study room. Izuku, there's a bunch of files, and what look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They are all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? He picks up the file and slowly opens the first sheet. Izuku, what's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? He turns to the next page, which contains a list of the students' pictures and basic information. Izuku, okay. Let's see name, year, class, oh, ultimate ability. Out of nowhere he go knockout. When he woke up, all of the files are missing. Izuku, what? What just happened? The files are gone. He frantically checks his surroundings, seeing if there are any other things out of place. His fingers brush against something wedged between the shelf and the wall. A single folded note. He pulls it out and unfolds it carefully. Izuku reads aloud to the curious one who finds this. Some secrets weigh more than others. Stop digging. He swallows hard, pocketing the note before standing up. His legs feel shaky. Izuku, muttering, I need to find Momo. Now. End of chapter 3.